Hello, Unifier listeners, viewers. Do ya with a big pardon today. We can't own us so late. But believe me, every time we get any kind issue there, we get a very good reason. Today on the unifier is always the unifier, and he's always doing what the unifier does best. Dr. Richard Konteh being day na Nongowa Chiefdom na Bombali, a go for go participate in the homecoming of the newly elected Paramount Chief, Kandek Banga III. And it's unfortunate, but connection at that area, they not been too good. So he try a lot of times for connect. We're not able for connect. So right now, Dr. Richard Konteh day with we, but he only day on our voice. So today we're not going to see him. We where they view the TV, but everybody go able for hear him. Dr. Richard Konteh, welcome. Okay, we still they try forget Dr. Konteh for contact with, but this afternoon I want for make una understand say we actually they look forward for yay from una we audience. We want for get una question there we una want for us Dr. Richard Konteh directly. So una can send until we on any of we social media platform them. Una know say we day on LinkedIn, we did on Twitter, we did on YouTube, we did on Instagram, we did on TikTok, we did on WhatsApp. So are they, and we also did on Facebook. So are they asking anybody we want for contact we when I can send we on a question there. Now then social media platform then they when they reach we on www.richardkonteh.com, then I Konteh with a K. And una can also reach we on dunifier.com. That's d-unifier.com. While we wait for Dr. Konteh join we, again, I want for make una share the link we una use for join we, whichever social media platform una join we. I want for make una share the link so that una family them, una paddy them go able for join and listen. The truth is 2023 we they vote for a new president now we country. And the president now get for set the pace. Now get for make we country be waiting we want for let it be or not. Now get for take that leadership day for let that they happen or not happen. And by the time we 2023 they come, if finally we the grassroots, let we don't know who that then are the candidate we sit down before we. And for let then candidates they reach that point they where they're even able to stand as president, we'll get for them votes them first, especially right now at they address the APC grassroots. For let them candidates they reach the point where they're able for stand for president, then get for don't win this flag bearer. So una then APC grassroots member them. Una we get for go vote for them one way then they call delegate. When are the delegates then get for vote for the flag bearer. Now una are they talk to now. And are all don't hear for months now where Dr. Richard Konteh they come on this radio program, they come on this TV program, they tell una waiting in plan for the country. Dr. Richard Konteh not making himself stranger to anybody. Anybody we don't meet him, they talk say, na man we humble, na man we like people, na man we not they forget old belful, na man we when you meet him, they make you feel like say yourself na person. Na man we he get love for in people then. He get love for the country. And we go make a big mistake if we vote for anybody else when it comes to that flag bearer for this we APC party. We go make a big mistake if we vote for anybody else apart from Dr. Richard Konteh. Dr. Richard Konteh don't take time week after week for can expose himself to una. Last week, we do a show where una, the listening audience, able for send questions. Question they will come right on the spot, able for give una solid answer. In order for tell una say go come. That show say this man get plan. He get plan in place already as a presidential candidate, as a flag bearer candidate. He get plan in place already where all waiting in need now the platform for put her into action. And from waiting, we don't hear you from Dr. Konteh. That plan they involve every single Sierra Leonean. From the youngest Pekin to the oldest man or woman. Dr. Richard Konteh get plan for how we all go participate for build we economy, build we country, and make an the place where we all the gladly for one go. Dr. Richard Konteh in plan go make sure say picking them the healthcare where they need, the nutrition where they need, then go get them. Dr. Richard Konteh get plan for the young picking them we don't begin school, the teenager then where they school, that the education where then they get, not of ontoba education. Now education we get for better them, education we go make let themselves know say yes, I graduate school, I go school and I learn book. Those of us just go school no more, you make like say you go school. But the plan where Dr. Richard Konteh get, and for like when then come out school, then they know say yes, indeed, I go school and I learn book. It get plan for let the youth man them. Every one of them we want work. Every one of them we want do business. Every one of them we want for do, we get plan for in life. Space go there for them. For let that plan they, it go able for find way for make that plan they work. Dr. Richard Konteh get plan for woman them. Right now, woman then a salon. It's like say we na second class citizen. And not like say self, now we na the mama them, auntie them, sister them, we born the whole population of salon. After all, now we na the woman then, now we they tot na belly, now we they breastfeed, now we they born, now we they men. But we place inside society in a salon. You know, not a place where honorable. Dr. Richard Konteh get plan for elevate, for lift up woman them, for let we safety map we on to foot, and no say for two woman then at this country then value them. When it comes to demand the way they work, Dr. Richard Konteh get plan for them back. Every part na the society, every part na the economy, every sector na the economy, it get plan for let everybody we able and willing for participate for build the country, go able for participate and build the country. So me fumble them. I've been just one for make una remember grassroots. When una they go vote, una vote for the one they we no see, then they go cast and vote for Dr. Richard Konteh. Now me what that to una today. Let we check again for see if we get Dr. Konteh on the line one more time. I know see it call by voice, not by video today because the internet not too good usai a day. We I say it go na Nongowa chiefdom na Bombali for go participate in the homecoming of this newly elected paramount chief Konteh Banga III. So let we check again and see if we don't get her on the line. Dr. Konteh, welcome, sir. Okay. Me viewer them, me listener them. It not look like say we able get Dr. Konteh on the line. I want to make una rest assured say wherever he day right now, all in at napa we no more day. All in at napa una no more day. It can always really enjoy for meet with una and talk with una and express in plans for the country. Unfortunately, it look like say today, then they don't go right. But we the above say we go catch on soon. Okay, it look like say we don't catch on at the line. So I go give a space to Dr. Konteh for tell we all I'll do. Dr. Konteh, welcome, sir. We're not the area yet, but I know say they're on the line. We'll just they try for make sure say we go able to connect the phone, make una self go hear everything he get for say. And I just bear with we small no more. By God power, this now one of the things that we Dr. Konteh in government go tackle when he sit down na state house for tackle with communication issues. Because now other thing and the way it all explain to we say he get plan for improve. And all thing na small small. With man say baby steps. They work like small picking. Everything are small small. But he get plan for every aspect of the economy. Let's check again if we get Dr. Konteh on the line. Let we see if we go able for listen to him. Dr. Konteh, would they able to hear you now, sir? Unfortunately, we know they get the volume. I don't know if me backstage manager go able for come on stage for see if then they go make a difference. Okay. Dr. Konteh, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the Unifier Hour.
Yeah, good evening, Dalda. I'm from Sierra Leone.
Welcome, sir. I know say all year today with we, but like you some time for greet we listeners and viewers, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to start with an apology to all the listeners. Today I come village for the homecoming of the new paramount chief for the Ngobwahu chiefdom of the Bombali district in the person of BC Kande Banga the third. I'm not waiting for the problem with the internet generally today, and particularly at this time, but I want to appreciate we back room staff. We are able to at least allow me for make we do an audio connection. And I hope the listeners can go manage for at least hearing my voice, even if they're not able to see my face today. Well, good evening, and I look forward to an hour of interaction as we do try to discuss and engage on key issues that are critical to the governance that we come to Sierra Leone.
Thank you, Dr. Konteh. Okay, well, I want to start off with a question. As usual, going straight into the questions. I want to start off with a question where we get from one of we listener viewer them. In name Brima Alan Kamar, aka TYT. And he say, and I go read them per English because now English is right. He said, let me first compliment this platform, which gives all Sierra Leoneans the opportunity to sound their concerns about our country through questions about how our potential leaders plan to address the concerns. The Sierra Leone police is chronically an institution that has always been hijacked by past and present governments in favor of the ruling government in perpetrating injustice and abuse to Sierra Leoneans without being held to account and perpetrators punished according to the law. If you are elected president in 2023, how do you plan to reverse this trend in reforming the police force and completely dissociating them from politics, but instead operate as the independent institution and at the same time holding them to account for every breach of human rights?
Yeah, thank you very much, Gladly, for respond again today to Brahima TYT Kamara. Last week, again, they asked a very interesting question, and today we'll ask another question where they go to the heart of the governance architecture in Sierra Leone. Whilst I will say excesses in the police service is common all over the world, we are even at the United States, we get complaints about issues with the police. But I think the stage or the level where we don't get Sierra Leone is unprecedented in the policing history of the country, Sierra Leone. I don't think things don't ever degenerate to this level. But one thing where I will assure Sierra Leoneans that when me, Dr. Richard Konteh, become president of the Republic of Sierra Leone next year, June, I will ensure we allow the police to make them become professional, make them become independent, and we make sure we free them from any undue interference, including the infamous talk about orders from above. The quality of the police force in any country is critical to the overall governance infrastructure of that country. It's critical for the rule of law, it's critical for dispensing justice. Because the police in any country then get a responsibility for protect life and property. When anybody feels safe in life, in property, threatened in any way, the first point of call are the police. And it expects, when he approach the police were able to address the issue expeditiously, speedily, and also for address them fairly. So if the police force not act in that way, then they undermine the whole justice infrastructure and even allow the judiciary to able to function properly. So when me, Dr. Richard Konteh, become president of this country, we will ensure we make the police very professional. And one of the ways that we will try for one would borrow a leaf from other countries. When I've been going to study in Germany, one thing I've been learned that the entry requirement into the police force at Germany are the same as the entry requirement into medical school or into law school, which means the caliber of people that when they go into the police force now a very high standard. Not to school dropouts, not to people them where not succeed in life or will not get a chance to succeed in life. Part of the problem when we get in this country like that, when you get any pikin or nephew or niece where you feel you want to become a dropout, you want to become wayward or something, you say, no, go join police. I think that is wrong. We raise the standard of the police force and make sure the one the way they enter the police force, they have extremely high intellectual standard, extremely high academic standard, and those people will therefore the people the way anybody will respect, because you know we feel say this police now why they can meet so in a land book. I know say we get a mixed bag of policemen then at this moment. I know say it's not possible for one overnight to take time, but we therefore take deliberate steps for ensure say going forward the new recruits into the police force will be people there of very high intellectual standards. We therefore raise the bar for the police force. We therefore expose them to a lot of training to make them understand within standard practice in policing mean, and to make we ensure say they live by example. We will also ensure say like it will happen in the developed world and other countries where the police force much improved. We will ensure say when any policeman overstep in duties, when any policeman abuse in office as a result of the fact say he carry a gun, or as a result of the fact say he is a policeman, that policeman will also face the due process, the due penalty for the inflicted on them as a deterrent to others. So we will ensure that under a Richard Konteh presidency, we will start the process of sanitize the police force, to raise the standard of the police force. But we don't only raise the standard intellectually, professionally, and otherwise, but we will also ensure say they are properly remunerated so that they're not going to buy them easily. And whilst we will penalize any policeman who fall foul of the law, we will also bring to book any state official where feel say it will want to use in office for make the unlawful directives to any policeman. And we go make sure say we protect the policeman then. We make sure say if anybody give any unlawful directive, make them not afraid for refuse that unlawful directive and make them do the things them way right, so that we will restore the police force will be known for being a force for good. And I believe so when we get the police as a force for good, everybody will live at peace, everybody will gladly, and everybody will be happy. Me, as president, go state now categorically say in all my political life, I not ever use my office or take undue advantage over any citizen. And I not ever use my office for any unlawful directive to any policeman. And therefore, I will rule by example. And if me, as president, lead by example, then I expect everybody under me to do the same. And we will ensure, say, the same way we will sanitize the police force, sanitize the military, we will sanitize the judiciary, and we will ensure, say, parliament set will be a work and the executive part. So all arms of government will be properly sanitized, and we will ensure, say, things then begin to function at this country so that anybody know what they expect from the Richard Konteh presidency.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for your very profound response. So I hope say TYT they listen to we. Dr. Konteh don't tell we say go raise the bar of the entrance requirement. Go standardize practices so that they will understand what it mean for be a police officer and how to act. Then go implement proper training. Go introduce disciplinary measures for abuse, and go rein in abuse of office where people then they give edicts from above. Then they all go stop and go clean up and sanitize the police force. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Everybody where they listen to we and view we, una they reach we at www.richardkonteh.com, Konteh with a K. Una also they reach we on dunifier.com. That's the letter d-unifier.com. And we dey on so many social media platforms. We dey on Instagram, we dey on TikTok, we dey on WhatsApp, we dey on YouTube, we dey on Facebook, we dey on LinkedIn. So una can reach me on any one of the one in there, and they encourage you all for share the link. Dr. Konteh, there's another question we have here. There's been some serious unrest recently in the country over women marching in peaceful protest of hardships they're undergoing. I know women are close to your heart, Dr. Konteh, and if truth be told, personally, I will describe you as a feminist. What message do you have for all Sierra Leonean women, especially widows, who are feeling disenfranchised, kicked to the curb, abused, and forgotten?
Thank you very much, Balda. I want to start to apologize to all the women that where they be abused their fundamental rights for process and express their dissatisfaction over the current deplorable economic situation of the country. I want to say what happened to them, the unfortunate, the wrong, the unjust, and I feel say the one that will perpetrate that type of mayhem against the woman then, therefore bow down in shame because they're not supposed to do that. And I'm glad that the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights is sent out a number of tweets. And in their tweets, they not only condemn the action of the Sierra Leone police, but they also go further for make it clear, say the United Nations Human Rights Council can unanimously approve, say you don't need any prior approval from any institution for make you peacefully protest, for go and agitate your views over an issue. And the expectation that the security forces, rather than arresting people and locking them up, to facilitate the process. Let me learn from my sister country, Nayato, Liberia. Sometime last year, there was a demonstration in Liberia over government, and against government. Within the police then do, and now there we give the protesters water. They guide the protesters there, make the position clear. I believe say when the police they behave in that way, believe it or leave it, anybody will be even get another intention to do anything negative or anything funny, you will deflate them completely. We also see what happened in Ghana. The kind of instruction with the head of the Ghana police, they give to the police force. This is the type of police where we feel say we forget Sierra Leone. And this is not far-fetched. We're not talking about UK. We're not talking here about America. We talk about Liberia. We talk about Guinea. Ghana. And even in Guinea, recently, we get a case of one policeman who abused the citizens in Guinea. And we see how the president can take immediate action and dismiss the police officer with penalties. That would expect. The reckless impunity with which members of the security forces they carry out their duties in this country is not right. And they pray and hope, say, they go change even whilst they wrap up their remaining days in office. Or we assure the woman then in this country, because say, when we become president of this country next year, every citizen will get a reason for go process and agitate. Nobody will not go arrest them because of that. We will give everybody a free chance for them to express their views within the limits of the law, as long as they not go violent, as long as the procession on the demonstration, it remained peaceful. The police then get a responsibility to facilitate that peaceful process. If they want to go make a representation to any office, the expectation that the office in charge will come and meet them and receive whatever that they protest, and therefore take steps within a short period for take the redressal. I want for extend my sympathy or my message to Femi Gorgeous Cole, the lady where they say my champion this demonstration. I want to say I feel proud of the step where you take. You are a brave woman, and you are the type of woman where Sierra Leone need. Women have always demonstrated that they can rise up to the occasion when it becomes necessary. And you don't show leadership, you don't show uprightness, you don't show say you can stand tall, and you don't show say you can even risk your own comfort just because you want to defend what you stand for. And to my dear brother and friend, Dr. Dennis Bright, I say, Oshia, this is the salon where we don't find yourself. The only crime where I understand you commit is that you decide to go show solidarity with your colleague where they detain. May God make this type of situation not continue any further. And to all Sierra Leoneans, I would say, let us endure the remaining days of the SLPP. The APC will come back very soon. And under Dr. Richard Konteh as president, we will ensure say we protect the fundamental human rights of every citizen. Before APC left office in 2018, Sierra Leone, they get Class A rating by the Human Rights Council for we record on fundamental human rights and freedoms. We have lost that rating today. Sierra Leone was the most peaceful country in West Africa. We have lost that status today. Plenty positive credentials about the human rights records where we be the pride itself in, we don't lost them. I want to say a new APC government will restore all of those credentials, and they will ensure say every Sierra Leonean will live at peace with a neighbor. Every Sierra Leonean will be free to exercise their own rights, their own opinions within the limits of the law. And we will ensure say we get a government where will be very proactive in terms of addressing the concerns of the people, so that we will not get to the stage where the situation will become so unbearable that the patience of the people that will become so overstretched that they don't get any other option but to take to the streets for protest. We will be a caring government. We will be a government where they respond to the needs of the people. I think say the warning signs were out there. All man don't see how fuel price don't go from 6,500 for a liter to 22,000. We don't see how a bag of rice don't go from under 200,000 to over 600,000. We don't see how transportation don't go. Before now, the staff then say they use less than 20,000 for can work and go back. Now they need at least 40,000 for can work and go back. And salary is not changed. So which people then they really go to work now just because they don't want to get a house. Also because they expect say at the end of the month they will get any additional gain. They just go work because they don't want to get a house. And that is not what going to work means. Going to work means you go make money, where you will take care of yourself, take care of your family, and even get some savings for the future, or even money for you to build a house or make investments for the future. That regrettably is not happening because the economy, the shambles, things, the taxation don't kill the private sector, insecurity don't drive away the investors, and the future for the country, it look very bleak. And I want to assure your listeners to say, however night long, do must clean. And I believe, say, now 5 o'clock now don't be so. The place will clear just now. And when the place clear on the 24th of June, 2023, we all as Sierra Leoneans could get the opportunity for go to the polls, for go vote in the government of the choice. And this for start with the voter registration from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October this year. I want to appeal to every Sierra Leonean, make sure say you come out and register. After your registration, go back and verify. But make sure say then display your name in the correct way. And when the time is for go pick up your card, go and pick up your card. So that on the 24th of June, you will get the chance to go vote for the councillor of your choice, for the chairperson or mayor of your choice, for the member of parliament of your choice, and for the president of your choice. So that we will build a government who could be responsive to the needs of the people. A government will go acknowledge for say it gets a responsibility for care for people, not to for lord them over there, not to for beat them, not to for harass them, not to for imprison them, but necessarily a government will respect the rule of law, a government will respect the constitution, a government will be for everybody and not for a few. A government will go ensure say every Sierra Leonean will get an equal and unfettered opportunity to actualize the fullest potential. A government in which the youth will be given an opportunity to play an active part in leadership and in key positions in government. A government in which women will occupy pride a place in key positions to make the help for change this country, like how plenty they change their homes for good. And a government in which every Sierra Leonean will be a part of. This is the government with the APC, they promise. This is the government with Dr. Richard Konteh in presidency, who promised this country. And this is the government who will be as a country we need going forward.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for that very profound answer there. I want to move on again, just a little bit more about, the situation at the country. The leader of the opposition in Parliament, Honorable Cherno Ramadan Maju Ba, fondly called Cherry Coco, he speak very boldly in a Parliament against waiting in CC and bullying tactics of the ruling government, where he believes they put in your own life and the life of other APC opposition parliamentarian there at risk. Whose message you get for to we fellow APC comrades where they currently represent we in Parliament?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very important issue, and I'm glad we don't bring it up. I want to start first for congratulate Cherry Coco and the parliamentarians for when they stand up last week in Parliament to say enough is enough. We shall take it no more. But when they stand up in defense of the Constitution, but when they stand up for their own rights. And I want to say, and I make me very proud last week, and I believe say on Tuesday again, when I will make me very proud. Let us start for just maybe give me your voice to the issues where they are. You see, the problem where I see is that we never then get this habit for always deceive we with some very attractive things them, and then underneath they smuggle some very, very bad things. Let's say, for example, this bill where the Parliament. Because they know say plenty people in the diaspora, they don't agitate over the years for the right for make dual citizens. They also get the right for contest for parliamentary elections that Sierra Leone. They put it inside the bill so that owner we do in the diaspora say, yes, They don't address the issue. This is very good. Because they know say the woman there, over the years, they don't agitate for some form of affirmative action. We go allow them to get them 30% quota upfront of parliamentary seats. They put her inside it. Very attractive, so that all man will see, I think this is a good government, then they respond. But waiting they fail for realize is that is the carrot. But under that, they get the stick. They get the bad things where they try to do. One, they say, we all know, say, the NCRA, the APC idea, National Civic Registration Authority. The whole idea about the civic register, now APC idea, every developed country in the world, they get a civic register. And then they are a register of everybody within inside the country. Citizens and non-citizens, children and adults, everybody. And they only record the individuals, they record their also data. That's like details. And where they use that information there for licensing, for different things in the country and different institutions and offices, they can use that data there. But the process for prepare that civic register, it get to be credible, it get to be transparent, it get to be reliable. And it get to be a continuous process and not an episode. It not be episodic at all. It not be just for a short period and stop. The reason being that it get to allow everybody a chance to make it be registered. Unfortunately for we as a field, it not be so. One, people in the remote areas not get the chance to make them be registered. But even the people that in the big towns, the time where they make available for this registration is so limited that they not give chance to make everybody register. And people are really sick, people are will travel, people are will be indisposed for whatever reason, not be get a chance to make their register. And the opportunity not avail them to make them even register. Now what do they have to do? Because in their own strongholds, they be done to continue with this registration process on a massive scale outside the formal processes, because now they're in control of the tablets. We nobody not even know the exact count of tablets that were available. Nobody not even know which side they store the data. Nobody not even know the integrity of that database. Only God knows. And then we hear all types of rumors about how they even take the machine across the border into Liberia, into Guinea, for go register people then, just so that they will inflate the figures in the register in the areas. And then they make sure say people in the north and in the west will not allow them an equal opportunity to make the register. Now, what they have to do in this act? They say anybody will not be done register and get a national identification number, they not going to be allowed to register for vote. So which means most of them will be in the diaspora. Even when they say una can now come and contest for the member of parliament, you cannot even register. And if you not register, you cannot contest. So indirectly you are being disenfranchised. And they are saying all the people in this country will not be get chance to register inside a short window. Some sign at 5 days, some sign at 7 days, some sign at 10 days. So anybody will be able to register inside that period. They're not going to be allowed for register. So you could get the right for vote. Now that they don't put inside that if you left how it is so. Over and above that, they also want for introduce what they call proportional representation. Proportional representation in the first place, you will only introduce a situation where you don't get clearly defined constituencies, wards, as the case may be. In 1996, Kabade introduced proportional representation because the ward is still there on. Some parts of this country were even inaccessible. So it not be possible at that time for clearly defined constituencies, districts, and boundaries. So they've been careful to find a system for where they will allow them to get a parliament so that government will function with some semblance of democracy. And even the act where they pass or allow them to do the PR system, it is very explicit in terms of the circumstances under which you can apply it. So it is applicable in that time because the situation at the time they warrant it. But that don't change. Now we get a situation wherein we get well-defined constituencies, we get well-defined wards, well-defined districts, provinces, etc. And the fundamental thing about democracy is that the right for the individual to choose whether for leader, whether for representative, and also for the average citizen to also get the right to hold somebody accountable. What thing that they try to do in this act, now for take that right away from the individual, from the citizen, and get to party. So that when they come for candidate proportional representation, now the party, now they decide, Bombali will get 8 MPs. So number 1, now Richard. Number 2, now John. Number 3, now James. Number 4, now Peter. Just based on that person in connection to the leadership of the party. So the loyalty of them people, not to the people the way they're supposed them, but to the party we selected. So they are taking away a fundamental right from people. And I think that is not bad enough. Then go further, then they keep a threshold of 30% before you begin to represent, which means they believe then we're able to get 30% in the north and in the west, because in the north and in the west we practice real democracy. And then believe in the south and east, no other party is not able to get a 30%. So they believe then we'll get 100% at the south and east, and then they will count at the north and west, and also use proportional representation for give themselves some seats, so that they feel through that they would all succeed for get permanent majority in the parliament. They forget it's not necessarily work that way. When Pakaba they introduced the PR system in 1996, that'll be 5%. That 5% that we make, then that'll be the threshold. And that because of 5%, we make APC they get seats in the parliament, because they get above 5%. Now 5% they make the Kono political party they get seats in the parliament. You know, but that was ideal at the time of war. But we're in a war again. Now you can go to any part of this country and you can vote. So give the people back their rights to choose and elect the leader of their choice, so that they will be able to hold their representatives accountable. I think that is the least the average Sierra Leonean can ask for from the SLPP. Don't take away that fundamental right, that small power where the people then get or choose their leader. Don't take it away from them. You've taken too much away from our people. Leave that one with them. That our people, at least every 5 years, they get the right to go to the polls and mark in a paper and be able to determine would I pass and would I fail. And I believe that's right. They're not to take them from any citizen. That's right to choose who that will lead you. You know, in a PR system, you know, even some constituencies that will go without leader, without representation. Because now standing in the party, now they use now for pick. So, in fact, a constituency where they even vote as well as another constituency can possibly get somebody from the area elected for go to parliament, where the constituency will really vote massively for the party that gets party, because sometimes they not get strong people in the hierarchy of the party. And those people that were very influential in the party, not necessarily be the people that were very responsive to the needs of the people. We're caring enough to able to articulate the people their views that we're able to also respond to the everyday needs of the communities. So this whole idea about the PR system is bad. And I think the APC, they stand for the people and say, we not agree, we not accept. Luckily, the Constitution is very clear. They need 2/3 majority to make it pass. So really, that bill is dead on arrival. Because if you figure that anything for go by, they need votes from the APC for make them get 2/3, and they are not going to have it. So if they follow what they happen in the developed world, by now they don't do some informal investigations. They don't say they don't get the numbers, and they just don't drop them. They don't need to try to get the speaker for use voice vote, try to get the speaker for do other things with clearly unconstitutional. But I'm glad that the speaker for once standing ground and tell them, say, if you do anything different, it will be treason. And he not ready for commit treason. And he say, it will be a split vote, we will count the votes, and we clear, say they will not have a 2/3 majority, then go drop out. However, waiting with all hearing, we see pictures on social media where we see the head of Sierra Leone and the head of ECSL, they sign an MOU. And we understand, say, they want to use that flawed census report. That report will say the population don't exist by 42%. That's wrong figure there. Then they say they want to use for the limit constituencies. That is the most insane thought we for even come to anybody. Because anybody in the right senses not go sit there and say free term population not reduce after 5 years. When even if you just follow the normal population growth trajectory, if I should say the population is supposed to increase. And from 1963, we have begun doing censuses from the days of Sir Albert, right on to the days of Alex Bagoroma. We then do censuses for this country. The population will increase after every census period. Now, only under this administration, they tell you say the population is not even stagnant, but it is reduced 42%. It defy all reason. They defy all logic. War not happen, but the people they die. No sick doctor will make bad, they're not born again. Woman don't become bad, they're not born again. It don't happen. When they see the hospital, the PCMH, the flop, which became them, when they see them Mabela, then with the mayor show me aerial photographs, when they show how the city they sprawl, they see how sweet how they grow. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we know which time hostel we did. Now we know how the bush they all don't come out, they don't build houses there. And a month of man that they can't stay inside it. So population don't increase, they reduce. It defy all reason. So we feel say anybody will mean well for this country for no say that law where they say for change the act and introduce this type of system where will not allow plenty people then make a register for voting wrong. That system may not go allow people that for directly elect the representatives that you wrong. Believe say they forgive every Sierra an opportunity for register and every Sierra an opportunity for go to the polls and vote the people they want. And we also believe say they must scrap that whole idea about the midterm census completely and the not for attempt for use that for delimit any constituency because it could just create chaos in this country. But rather, the advice would be that they now start the process for the real census, which will be in 2025 schedule. We can learn lessons from what don't happen now and try to make sure that it be well. I want to assure the people of Sierra Leone that when me, Dr. Richard Konteh, become president, we go follow the correct steps as provided for in relevant legislative instruments and the Constitution for make sure that we get a census on schedule in 2025, and we will make sure that every political party, every part of this country will be involved directly in the process of the census. Everybody will get the buy-in into the process, and everybody will own them. So at the end of the day, everybody will accept the figures that they come up with, and we will use those figures for development and other important activities, research, etc. at this country. God be me help.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for that really in-depth answer where you give me. I just want for remind we viewers and listeners say when they come to when they wrap up this show today,
Hello.
say we don't say we don't go a little bit over time, but we know say it was well worth it for hearing from Dr. Konteh, for hearing some of his views, answer una question them, as well as for expound on some of the key issues where they go on in our country, where they affect elections, where they affect the economy, and where they affect women them and with human rights as people. So, Dr. Konteh, as usual, where we can they close, I can like forgive you a little bit of room for make you able for address the voter them, where go directly impact you are sent to flag bearer for the APC party. Personally, I don't need any more convincing. I am fully 100% convinced that Nayuna the only viable candidate where APC as a party get for put forward. But I want give you the opportunity for talk to the voter them and make let them understand what it mean no say me don't understand. Thank you, Dr. Konteh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valda. And I want to say I appreciate the confidence where you don't repose in me. And I want to promise you, say, I'm not going to betray that confidence. When I become president of this country, I want to assure you. So we all will work together. We will build a team that will help to transform this country and reverse all the negative things that with this current administration don't sort of introduce and want to perpetuate in the country. I want to use this opportunity for talk to the people of this country. Sierra Leone don't experience a little over 4 years of this current administration. Over these 4 years, I get the opportunity to taste a different type of leadership. And I believe that God bring in this government so that the naysayers will not want to appreciate the 10 years of APC, will really see the difference between an APC administration and an administration led by Winnie Barrett. And I believe that by now, we all don't get the full picture. And they not only go and small, they really go on to an extent that us, inside this country, it's also bad up that now I see ministers when they attack development partners. I can't imagine how a city minister go attack the European Union. How a city minister go attack the international community for say they're biased against this country. When now the resources, when the people here that they bring, now we depend on 40 to 50% of financial budget. I think say anybody with it in the right senses no go do that. I want for just appeal to the international community and say, yeah, we not hold the things against the country. But we will continue to support the country because Sierra Leone not to one party together. Sierra Leone now for Sierra Leoneans. And we cherish the support of the international community. We cherish the fact that very difficult times, very trying times, we stand by we. We help for part we. whether we fight against each other. And after we part, on a pathway, on a help we for get the resources for where we will build. In times when we go through difficult times, the times for the international economic crisis of 2008, 2009, when our country will rescue. The time of Ebola in 2014, 2015, when I come to we aid. And now, even in times of Corona, when I abandon we I pour in thousands and thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, try to make we get out of this thing that the sick cannot kill we all. When the economy is in very difficult conditions, when I give it budget support, when I give it other types of support, including even some loans, although regrettably, we don't abuse that privilege and don't make we country. Now it don't become a distressed economy. We say the debt burden we don't accumulate, we don't far exceed the revenue we generate as a country. Where we don't succeed for so mismanaged the country that even the exchange rate does spiral out of control. And at this exchange rate, we're not able to manage and stabilize. And don't make even the price of fuel. Even if price of fuel go down today at the international markets, the price of fuel will continue to go up. As long as we're able to control the exchange rate. Because if you look at the pricing formula, that's the create. So I want to say we welcome and cherish the support of the special community, and we appreciate and praise the Sierra Leoneans for their resilience to endure all of these difficult times. We have endured 4 years and 1 month, and I believe 4 years and 3 months. And I believe we still get another 11 months to go because they add some months on top of the 5 years. No problem will be up because the Constitution allow a stopgap of 3 months within which they will conduct elections. We will be up as long as it consistent with the Constitution. But we have demonstrated the highest degree of endurance, the highest degree of resilience. You know, any other country going through, waiting to go through, now this country, we don't see something else. But I really want to say, we don't show say we are very patient people. Let me continue from here. This remaining 11 months don't go very quick. But guess what? Get the opportunity to go register from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October. That will get you right to mark the exam scripts of the SLTP. We'll get it right on the 24th of June for go get the report card. Because on the 24th of June, after we don't mark the paper, that day, that's we'll get the report card. And I believe we don't get the report card. I think we for add the at the bottom of the report card and add never return. Because if you begin to perform so badly, that's good. Usually the GR never return. If you are the football, you can say that will be a red card. Because foul, where they don't play against the average Sierra Leonean, the foul, where they don't play against the women of this country, the foul, where they don't play against the youths of this country, the foul, where they don't play against the competition of this country, the foul, where they don't play against the overall economy of this country. It's just so bad off that they deserve a straight thread. And I believe on the 24th of June 2023 will be them a straight thread. So people of the APC, our people are ready. The rest of the country, not APCs, are ready to vote in the APC, provided we give them the right candidate. The candidate we then believe will respond to the evidence. The candidate we then believe will help bring a turnaround in the economy. The candidate we then believe will bring a turnaround in their fortunes. The candidate who will guarantee peace and stability in our country. The candidate we could be the people's person at the center of the candidate we go able to articulate the country needs and be able to attract sufficient investors and ensure that we get climate and the country we will make and conducive for the private sector for flourish. So the government will get the resources we they need for run government. The youths will get the jobs we they need. The women then will get the jobs we they need, and everybody will live in affluence. That is the Sierra Leone where Dr. Richard Konteh in presidency promised. The Sierra Leone in which we all will be at peace with each other. The Sierra Leone where we all will see ourselves as one people, a united, peaceful Sierra. Let we all come together to help build the better Sierra Leone under the presidency of Dr. Richard Konteh. God will help her.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Thank you so much. We listen to them, we view them. Thank you again for the patience. We know say today we kind of move everything half an hour back, but we tell everybody thank you. We stay with we throughout the show. And we invite you again for come next week and for can listen again to waiting Dr. Konteh get for say. If you get question what you want for ask Dr. Konteh personally, directly, do ya send them now any of we social media platform then. Like I say, we there on YouTube, we there on LinkedIn, we there on Twitter, we there on WhatsApp, we there on Facebook. Any one of them, una go on www.richardkonteh.com or una go on unifier.com and una send una question then to we will definitely put them together and ask Dr. Konteh just as on our right time, and it go able for answer una directly on the show next week. We invite una for come again and can listen to what Dr. Konteh get for say next week. Today on, if una no member anything with Dr. Konteh say, there's a couple of things we I want for make una member. When I remember say, Dr. Konteh remind we say this particular government get a nice way where then they do things. With man call and the carrot and the stick. Then they give you something nice, and then before you remember, they whap you with the other one being. So I remember the thing in there. And one of the carrot and stick plan, they wait and bring candy strip. That way they approve. We were in a diaspora for able for run for parliamentary positions. But then under that one, they then slide proportional representation. We mean to say the voter then voice no go they not go area again. Now waiting the party want now get for B. So una not forget that one day. If you not remember anything, una remember that one day. So una thank you for viewing, and we will see you again next week. Take care.